The thing is about freediving is that you're holding your breath in an environment in which your ability to survive is incredibly finite. I started competing in Egypt. I was doing these depths in training and people were like, oh, by the way, did you know that was deeper than the current Australian record? Since I've been competing, I've been the deepest or the best Australian diver.
I had heard stories about Adam and I had heard that he was a really gnarly diver. I think I was a little bit intimidated maybe.
He's never dived at Bondi before, so we'll check out the conditions and then tomorrow I think we'll jump in the water and I'm keen to show him the Cathedral Cave, which is absolutely epic.
So my deepest dive has been to 106 meters, and the sensations of going that deep are amazing. There's a whole array of very strong chemical changes that are happening in the body. And as you dive and you start cruising down and you're building up more and more carbon dioxide in the body, you start to get a little bit high. Once you hit the sort of 60 or 70 meter point, you start to encounter nitrogen narcosis. It feels like I have just inhaled a whole bunch of laughing gas, like nitrous oxide. I don't want to say that, we're all just chasing these wacky feelings, because the truth is that the feeling of diving deep is beautiful without these chemical changes. Most of the time, the goal of freediving is just about ocean exploration or just experiencing the sense of freedom underwater.
Sometimes you go out diving and you find an amazing cave, like the one we're going to dive tomorrow, and you can reasonably imagine that you may be the only person that's ever seen that. And you can't really say that about land. I would say that Adam and I are very different. I have never been interested in competitive diving. People who have a tendency to compete with others or compete with themselves quickly find like a numbers game in it.
Recreational freediving, the goal is, let's go see some amazing stuff in the ocean today. Whereas competitive freediving is all about, let's see how deep we can go. There are real and genuine risks. If you are trying to compete with someone else, you usually end up injuring yourself. Most of the time, a freediver is only competing with themselves. Freediving forces a person to regularly encounter their own fears. You can't overpower fear, right? You have to acknowledge it, work with it.
I always say to people getting into freediving that your biggest enemy in freediving is your own ego. I maybe got a little bit fixated on getting this particular depth dive, and I sunk to the bottom. In my mind, everything was completely sweet. I was like, yep, easy. I remember getting to the bottom of the line and turning around and sort of starting to come back up from my dive, but I remember feeling very heavy. And then I remember having a really nice dream and waking up, hearing water splashing all around my face, and then hearing Adam's voice yelling my name, and then realizing, oh, okay, this is what a blackout is. I've experienced a blackout. I think it was an important lesson. It was a really important lesson for me about ego and about, not putting everything on the line for a number.
You have to respect the ocean for being significantly more powerful than you. And that's a tricky thing sometimes for freedivers, because freediving in itself gives you an immense feeling of power. You hold your breath and you swim down to the bottom of the ocean and you are amazed with the abilities of your body. Like, it's a powerful feeling. My lungs are riddled with scars, you know what I mean? Literally, from injuries I've given them. And so very quickly I was confronted with the idea that no, I can't just wake up on any morning and push my body to its absolute limit. Freediving is as safe as the people doing it, right? So if you dive safe, freediving is safe. If you dive recklessly, freediving is dangerous. All of these rules that we have for freediving, we have them because people died.
Perfect dive is a dive where you sink beneath the surface and you don't really feel the urge to breathe. The whole dive is relaxed. You feel just in your kind of flow state, in the zone. That is the feeling that I'm chasing. That is a good dive for me. And I will dive 100 times in a session for that one dive where I feel completely in control and out of control, completely present but also absent. And the surface is up there, and your focus is really narrow and small,
that feeling is the reason that I keep going back to the water.
The feeling of diving deep is really just a feeling of falling, because after 20 or 30 meters, you'll become negatively buoyant because the air in your lungs is compressed to the point where you don't need to keep swimming. You stop swimming and you just fall. You fall for the next 50, 60, 70, 80 meters in the water, just with your eyes closed or your eyes open, just falling and flying through the water. And it's astounding. It's a beautiful feeling. And then obviously on the flip side, then you've got to make the return journey.
When I get in the water, it is like the equivalent of washing my brain.
The sense of freedom you have with freediving is huge. I mean, imagine walking down to any beach, to any coastline, and just knowing that you can swim offshore and just explore that underwater world without restriction.
In freediving, we have to learn to surrender. We have to learn to give in to pressure, give in to all the factors in our environment around us. You don't have to worry about gravity. You don't have to worry about noise, chatter, traffic, people, bills to pay, emails to reply to. What drew me to freediving was this idea of being like powerful and capable and confident in an environment that is so different to we're in every day.
I have been inevitably changed by freediving. All the lessons of freediving have permeated into my personality and into what I want out of life. To get better as a freediver, you have to be patient because going deeper and deeper and deeper is a slow process of adapting your body to more and more pressure. You'll find points of tension in your body you had no idea existed, you know, if you continue the journey of going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so these methods of getting better at freediving become the methods in which you approach your life.